Hello everyone, it's Heather. So today I wanted to do a craft room tour. So like in one of my groups, somebody's been asking about like how they organize their craft rooms and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would give you guys a little tour of my craft room and how I have everything arranged. So as you can see, down here is pretty much how we have it. Now I'm recording this on my phone and not my usual camera, so I apologize for the shakiness or lighting and all of that stuff. Anyway, and I'll use a ruler to point to things if I need to. So, as I said, this is what you normally see, and then if I flip up, this is what I see. I'm gonna squat down on the floor so I can show you. So up ahead, you know, we've got some journaling cards and stuff. Those all come from paper pads and stuff like that, quite like that. And I just, you know, cut them out. They're all in little bins right there. We got some labels and some sheet music right there. These are like the sticky labels, and I got some Martha Stewart sticky labels. And then behind here, right there, is some Tim Holtz words. And then in front, you know, we've got our usual, what is that? An ink pad that we use for inking. We got some Tracy Fox labels, and then her little words, and then some faux stamps that I made. Here's our glue. This basket here is full of like odds and ends, like things I've cut out of magazines and books and stuff, like pictures. And then we've got, you know, our pencils and pens. And then over here to the left, we've got an assortment of list pads, sticky notes, and then right there is some traveler's notebooks that I've made that are just plain, that have nothing, you know, in them, no ephemera or anything like that. If we look up, there's Harry Potter. A friend of mine's a huge Harry Potter fan, and her bridal shower was Harry Potter themed. And then that painting I got from Dragon Con last year, or a couple years ago. Absolutely love it. I think it's so hilarious. It makes me laugh. And so then we got some washi tape. All three of those things right there full of washi tape. Some different, here, let me stand up. I've got various different things in there, like got some paper clips, some card stuff, sticky notes, tape glue, all kinds of stuff. And then I got a couple of books and some scissors. This is all of my bookbinding stuff inside this box. And in here is a bag of binder clips. So over here we've got a couple of journals. That's my Halloween journal, and that's my idea journal, which I got to fix up. Rolls of paper, and then we've got some atlases right there, some maps. Okay, and in this box I've got some paper punches and some like library cards. We got some envelopes here, and then a bunch of stamps right down there. And then we've got a hodgepodge of stuff. I've got some big envelopes, some labels, some sticky labels, some large stickers, and then this is papers that I've stamped that can be cut out, and then just a mix mash of stuff. And we've got a bunch of craft books and stuff there, and then some notebooks and blank journals and stuff like that. And then down here we have our assortment of stickles, and then gelatos and what are these? What are they called? Oh, the Ditto Glimmer sprays and all that stuff. Yep, so there's a bunch of different glues, mixed media stuff, and some more stamps and some extra glue, and then staples. So we're gonna pull out a little bit, and that's the, if I can, you know, not trip over my chair. So that's the desk I usually work at. So underneath take you on a tour in the depths below. So underneath we have basically a bunch of fabric and stuff. In that bin is stuff that I use for fabric flips and for covers. And in that bin and that box are excess fabrics. Probably fabrics I might never use, but I'll use for a different project, I'm sure. So, let's move our little trash bag aside. And there we see some fabric ruffles. And then some fabric scraps and stuff. This little black and white bin right here is mostly empty. I haven't figured out what I'm going to put in there. I used to have like some ephemera and stuff in there, and then I realized I was never using it. So I pulled it out and put it somewhere else. And in this box here, I've got some cookie cutters and stuff to make shaker pockets, like the Fusion tool or whatever. Alright, and then over here, let's move that bag a little bit more. We've got my art portfolio thing for some old paintings and stuff I did when I was younger. And then we've got a bin full of ribbon scraps, fabric scraps, and then I've got some crepe paper rosettes and stuff like that in there. We've got some extra book covers right there that belong to actual books that I've taken off and now use to paint and glue on. And then my big guillotine paper cutter. And then this box has some already done ephemera, and the box underneath is a bunch of books that I'm tearing apart and using pages of. And then we've got some paper flowers in here. That lid's a pain to get off, so I'm not going to pull it off yet. Then we've got stickers and stuff in this box. This box here has, let's see, some different ephemeras and stuff, and I've got some, I think, cut out butterflies there. So that's like a, I gotta figure out what I want to do with all that. And then in this box, I've got a bunch of envelopes and bags and stuff that we can use for putting in our journals. So, okay, so that's that side. That's the right side on the floor. And then the left side is this lovely thing. And so in that box, well, I've got my paper cutter, a couple paper cutters, my scoreboard and punch board up there. And then we've got our big circle punch, and I've got some bias tape there. In the drawers, we've got different stuff. We've got some paper cutouts, or pages, and some artwork in there. These are book pages, like Edith Holden book pages and stuff, in that bin. And then we've got our paper scraps in that one, so it's easy to reach. Book pages in that. And then this has got like napkins and tissue paper and a couple little small bits of stuff like that. It's got stencils and stamps. It's mostly stencils and stamps I probably use regularly. And then I've got some dyed paper, some smaller bits in there. And the larger sheets are in this one. And then down here I've got some in progress stuff, including in this box. I tried to separate some of that. And these are just bookshelf covers that I'm going to use. And then this is just a bag that I use to travel and carry like sketch pads and all that kind of stuff when I'm traveling. Alright, and then here is the camera setup for those that are thinking about it. This is just a webcam. Usually my laptop, move that out of the way, usually sits right there, and I just plug it in, and then we've got the tripod, counterbalanced with some rocks zip tied together. And that's pretty much how I do that. Then you can kind of see outside the window. It's a very sunny day today. And then here is where I sew. That's the chair. That's where my cats usually sleep if they're in here. Okay, so then we've got some beads and charms here on this little hanging thing. And it's double-sided. There's not really a whole lot of things on the other side. But yeah. And then I've got more storage travel stuff in a box. And that's a bunch of stuff that I've got to figure out a place for. And then I've got my maps. My world map actually has some of my book writing stuff on it. And then a painting of Louis Royo, one of my favorite painters. My husband thinks that picture is creepy. I like it. And then that little goddess thing was made by somebody about, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago from Swap Pot. Same with those other two dolls right there and there. And then, you know, got some prayer flags. And then we've got the first shelf. So we've got a bunch of ribbon and stuff over here. We got a bin of paintbrushes, a hot glue gun, spray paint, tapes. Over here is a bunch of planner stickers and the such. Alright, and down here we've got, this shelf is pretty much all jewelry making or beading. I've got some paint buckets and stuff there, and then one cartridge for my Cricut machine that I don't really use. And then we've got some sketch pads, drawing pads, and then that's all watercolors right there. More sketch pencils and stuff. This entire thing down here is nothing but paint. Like all these boxes are paints. Let me move some stuff around and I'll show you. These I got from like Michael's, and they're perfect for holding, you know, paint. Little craft paint. But I have them separated. I've got all my metallic folk art paints in one, and then another one, I think it's, this one has Martha Stewart, and then this one has probably more folk art paint, but just not the metallic. So in between, I've stuffed in poster board and cardboard boxes for like journal covers and stuff. And then unfortunately my little map grid paper got jammed in there and messed up. Alright, there you go. And I use that for writing purposes. Second shelf has all of those bins right there are loose paper, and then there's some small paper pads in, I think, this one right here, but the rest are all loose paper. And then a stack of all the paper pads still together. And then that bin's got some oh, what is that stuff? Some wooden pieces and some of the puzzle pieces that I've altered. And then we've got, let's see, we've got some leaves and stuff that you've seen me use in previous videos, some flowers. Those two boxes right there, I used to make a lot of dream catchers, and that's stuff that I used for that. So we've got some birds and stuff, some hoops and some leather, and some beads. These two bins are literally a hodgepodge of miscellaneous stuff that I haven't figured out where to put or what to use it for. And then underneath is literally full of sand and rocks, and I think there's like bottle caps down there. So yeah, and then we've got a bunch of calendars, file folders and stuff. And then down there we've got more file folders, some books, and a shadow box, and a hodgepodge of stuff. Wooden canvas, pretty much mostly on that shelf. And then in those two boxes, we've got soap making supplies and all of that fun stuff. And then we've got some blank journals that I'm going to alter, some notepads. There's some golden books down there. And then we have my current printer and paper. I'm hoping to get the nice eco printer pretty soon. So that might be my combination of Valentine's and anniversary gift from my sweet husband. And then we got my dry erase board that I cannot live without with writing. Some boxes that that I use for different crafting. And then we've got a nice painting. And this, my little zen area, or, you know, tranquil area. I don't know what you want to call it. And then here is my writing desk, and that's where I do all my writing. And then I've got some journals right here where I like to, let's see. In this one is my tea journal. So I write about different teas that I've tried, and you know, where it came from and what I liked about it, and I still have some I gotta do. This one is one of the journals I've posted before, like a flip through, so if you want to go check that out. But this is I call it my spiritual journal. So I write a lot of affirmations and, you know, hopes and stuff, and like, so if I have a dream that's bothering me, I kind of write it all in there. And my Traveler's Notebook, which is the Midori style Traveler's Notebook. Let me get this pen out. This is what I use to do memory making for my family, like when we go on vacations and stuff like that. Got a lot of stuff in here about our trip to Texas that we did over the summer. We ate at Whataburger, and I got some more I got to put in there for our most recent trips. And then I have a little section here that I write notes in. But yeah, and then this is one of my favorite quotes. Not to life, but fragile dragon wings, by Anne McCaffrey. But yeah, so that's my little area. And this is Marlowe. He's my writing buddy. He's always there when I write. And then my salt lamp. And this book here is actually a bunch of my writing stuff that I can travel with me. And I have pictures of actors and stuff that are inspiration for certain characters. But so yeah, so this is my crafting room. I know it's not just a crafting room, there's other stuff in it, but that's okay. I'll stand up and give you guys like a wide view of it. Or an overall view. Get back in the corner. But yeah, this is where I spend majority of my time. My happy place. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.